What's going on, guys, and welcome back to Rabbit's Used Cars. Questions that I get asked all the time is about my VinWiki stories. You know, when we do questions on Instagram or I'm at events or meet and greets or whatever, you know, caffeine, octane, things like that, always get so many questions from you guys. And I mean, you got to think about it. Old Rabbit got his YouTube start on VinWiki. You know, I got 25 million views on there personally myself. You know, there's so many good stories, and you got to think about a lot of information gets crammed into a 10-minute video and some gets cut out, you know, to make those perfectly sized videos and whatnot. And you know, so I get, and you guys have questions, and what it never fails. It's like, I go to an event, hey Rabbit, you know, what was it like, you know, with this, and this? So I decided to take a few of my favorite vids and, you know, and answer a few questions that I've been asked, or maybe give you a couple extra details on them. So, of course, might as well start with the very first one. And it's ironic because it is cold as shit right now here in the warehouse. And I told this story. December 26, 2017 is the very first time I sat in the chair at VinWiki. Sitting there in this damp ass warehouse, and it was cold, no heat. You know, like the set on VinWiki, when you look at it, you know, looks so well put together, and it does, that 10 square feet. But we're just in this empty warehouse, this dark with a light, and I'm staring at this guy that I've met for the first time in my life, telling him a story about my life, you know, but you know, it took off from there. That video dropped, and like I remember, you know, like Ed the day of texted me like, you know, hey man, you know, we're blowing it out of the park. And the comments were hilarious because what I did with eBay wasn't exactly an honorable thing. You know, it wasn't, you know, my greatest moment in my life. You know, I'm not proud of being banned from eBay. I mean, now it's kind of a joke, which hell, eBay's a joke anymore. But you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, it's not something I'm proud of. It makes for a good bar story. And I've told that story 1,000 times over the years, probably. But sitting down, and now that 2.5 million people have watched that video since then. But a few little added extras. Now, obviously, yes, eBay got onto me for shill bidding, and that was part of that 17-page certified letter they sent me. But another reason that I actually got banned for life from eBay was for copyright infringement. And I know what you're thinking, copyright infringement, what? Keep in mind, I was going around to car lots taking pictures of other people's cars and selling them, basically consignment sales online. The thing that was crazy about it is I didn't want to use their paper tags that had, you know, Joe Bob Bubba's car lot on it. So what did I do? I ordered me some tags and had them made with the eBay Motors logo on them. Well, eBay frowns on you using their logo. And I actually started how I got their logo was the funniest part, because I actually had to have something where they could scan it. And this was years ago, kids. They had to be able to scan it. And you couldn't get a print copy that was crisp enough, like to print with like your inkjet printer. So I took my very first Power Seller Award and we stole the logo off of that to make these eBay Motors like throwaway plates to go on the back of the cars. That and the shill bidding is why I was banned from eBay for life. You know, and I joke around about that, and I love the comments. I'm a comment reader, I can't help it. You know, I read the comments on every video I'm a part of. You know, it's one of those things, I still get excited when a new video drops, whether it be here or on VinWiki or wherever. It's still, you know, I love to see you guys get into it. And in that first video, it was a very mixed bag. I don't think people knew how to take the rabbit. Like, you know, I remember there's certain comments that still to this day stick out in my head. You know, I remember one guy said something, and it's still there. It said, I would douse you in gas and set you on fire. And then the next comment, dude, you're my hero, you know? And then that's where, matter of fact, the eBay Outlaw title came from that. But that video was the start of it. And then, of course, you know, we move on to other videos. And it seems like, you know, like my popularity started to rise on VinWiki. Just that shrewd negotiator, or that guy that was the sleazy car salesman, you know. I was, you know, Rabbit, the guy that can get away with saying damn near anything. You know, there is where I thought, man, I might have a knack for this YouTube thing. You never know. You know, I told that story, like I said, 1,000 times in bars going out. It was always that story you told, you know, and it always got the same response. People just had that, you know, approach. You know, like, man, you know. And still to this day, I am still banned from eBay. I haven't tried to open an account recently. I don't even waste my time with it, I'll be honest with you. Yeah, I mean, like I said, not my proudest moment, but definitely a lot of fun, and it got me out here in the YouTube world. Another really fun video was a motorcycle wreck video. And there's a lot of details that were left out of that. We really hit the high points with that one. And yes, it was extremely true when I went into the ER and they cut my jeans off of me and I put my hand down on my thigh. I said that. There's witnesses there. Everybody's seen it. And I did tell her this thing's been known to bring her to her knees. And I'm always that guy. You got to think about it. The show always goes on with me. You know, whether it be stand-up comedy or an event, I'm always ready. I always got that one-liner. I always think that was the reason I was always such a good salesman, because you couldn't catch me off guard. But another funny. So now, if you watch that video, you remember me telling you the girl that I was dating at the time, I gave her my house keys and said, hey, you know, grab me this, this, and this, and everything off there. You know, I'm not wearing a gown with my ass hanging out of it. And she brought me, you know, like some pajamas and stuff to shave and spike my hair up and all that stuff. This is a funny extra to that. And I hope she doesn't watch this, because I'm going to get a dirty text because of it. The night that was the night we were supposed to go out on a date that night, and I was texting her in the ambulance saying, hey, this isn't going to work, and she was at the hospital. Well, I gave her the keys to my house. Well, little did I know, that's the second time I've ever seen that person in my life. You know, Rabbit likes to move fast, but that was a little quick for me. Well, I come home from the hospital and I walk in the front door of my house. Well, keep in mind, she was at work. My mother actually picked me up from the hospital. My mom dropped me off at my house. I got a walker and a cast up to here, and I'm walking in my front door. And I open the front door and the house is spotless. Well, hell, I had a cleaning lady, so I didn't think anything about that. Well, I look, and when you walked in my house was wide open. It had a great room. Basically, the kitchen, the living room was all open. Bedroom, master bedroom, garage. So you walk in the front door, you can see all the way through the house. Well, I looked all the way in the house, and my office door was open, which I usually kept it open. And I looked, and there was a picture of this girl on my desk. That's cute. You know, that's sweet. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just trudging on in. You know, Mom, make sure, you know, I made it in the house okay. Well, I go to the master bedroom. There's a picture of her on my nightstand. Well, you know what? Yeah, whatever. Well, I walked past, and I had a walk-in closet in my master bedroom, and the door was open, and there was a dress hanging from it. I didn't think anything about it. Well, I look, and one whole side of the closet was girls' clothes. I go into the bathroom, in the master bathroom, and there's perfumes and lotions and makeup and all that stuff there. Little you know, Rabbit scored him a live-in girlfriend instantly. We actually dated for 6 months after that. I needed all the help I could get. You know, keep in mind, I couldn't even wash my ass by myself at that point. So I didn't say too much. But when I think back on it now, a girl that I went out on 1 1/4 dates with was my new live-in girlfriend. Sorry. And so that was interesting. But so long story short, it's kind of funny. I lost the cast and lost her at the same time, which was kind of crazy. Another fun one is Rabbit the High School Entrepreneur. And, you know, that video is done extremely well. I don't remember the views exactly off the top of my head. It's been a little while since I've seen it. So the very first car that I sold ever in my life, and I've been asked this a million times on Instagram and car shows and stuff, was a 1979 Mustang. That was the very first car I bought and sold. That was, you know, that was like that's where the bug bit me with that in high school. But if you'll ever notice, you know, I had my big Trans Am that my dad bought me. You know, come home, my girlfriend broke up with me. I quit the football team. I was all down in the dumps. My dad buys me a brand new Trans Am. That's a stock photo, that red Trans Am. Actually, I got a white 95 Trans Am. Funny story about the Trans Am. My dad bought me this car. but he refused to buy one without. Almost every Trans Am you see has T-tops. First of all, Trans Ams are loaded out cars as a rule, and so they throw everything at them. And the reason he liked this particular car was because it was a non-T-top Trans Am, so it had a white top on it. And the reason he wanted that is he knew putting his son in this car, the opportunity was probably pretty good for me to be barrel rolling this thing through a field or something. And he didn't want a car with T-tops for me to get thrown out of. What happened to the Trans Am? I wasn't the best student. Anything I put my mind to, I did phenomenal in. Economics, fun classes, I did great in. English, art, it's whatever. Hell, half the time I didn't show up. And I ended up failing art, and my dad got mad and took my car from me and put me in a 95 Nissan pickup truck. And it was, keep in mind at the time, it was a damn brand new pickup, but I was like a spoiled brat. I went and I had a pretty good hustle going. So I put a set of billet wheels on it. I had a set of 17-inch billet specialty wheels on it. We lowered it down. It's like that metallic bright blue color. It was a good looking little truck, roll pan on the back, super nice. Anybody would have been tickled to have it. And we cranked torsion bars down through some lowering blocks in the back, and I drove this thing. And I was so bad because my buddies had fast cars, and I had this damn Nissan now. And I remember coming into my driveway, I had a glass pack put on it and the exhaust ran out the back, and I had one, they called them megaphone tips, but it was like a kind of oval kind of tip. The roll pan was trimmed out. It was just cute as a button, the truck was. And I remember I came in my driveway had a little hump when you come into it, back home, mom and dad. And I remember coming home so mad, I came into the driveway running about 60, and I ripped the exhaust out from under it. And I'm talking about from the manifold, sent it straight out the back, took the roll pan off and everything. I was madder than hell. My dad walks outside. It's 10 o'clock at night. He walks outside and he tells me, he goes, "Guess you need to fix your truck." So I did. He gave me the Nissan. The Nissan was mine to keep. I drove the Nissan for a little while. I ended up selling it, and that's where I bought my first Mustang GT, which is the ones you see in the pictures. Triple black, been hit harder than Joe Frazier. It was a salvage car. We fixed it, made a badass car, drove it forever. The car's still around today. In Anderson, South Carolina, about 30 minutes down the road, there is a guy still driving that car around. So that's kind of cool. The Trans Am, he ended up selling it to an engineer at Michelin. And that's the last I heard of that car on the Trans Am. But the Mustang's still floating around. You'll see it from time to time. Just triple black GT. It's kind of cool. Well, you know what, though? I'll tell you what, I think we done burned enough time. My cameraman's waving his hand, so I know we're running out of SD card. Guys, we'll take a trip down VinWiki memory lane some other time. We'll catch you next time at Rabbit's Used Cars. And it's a lot of fun. Cut that damn near anything out. I didn't like that. But way better. All right, we're literally a minute and I'm done.
Love it.
You sure? You sure?
I'm sure. I love
Okay.
it.
Love. L-O-V-E. It's cold as shit right now.